Farmers and landholders around here and living in the community myself, we are always aware of fire. It's extremely important that we make fire a focus in our landscape.
In 2016, Peel Harvey Catchment Council worked with our community to recover from fire, and we've taken that learning opportunity so that we can better prepare our community for fire before fire hits.
Darren Doherty is my name. I'm from Victoria in Australia. I work for Regrarians Limited. We're a non-profit. We work all over the world with land managers, mostly commercial and larger scale. And we're on this farm as part of a farm planning for fire train the trainer that we've been working with the Peel Harvey Catchment Council on over the last 2 years.
We've been going through an online training session with some of our farmers. We've had officers partnered up with farmers and learning all about farm planning and fire prevention. And we're now doing a week's worth of in-person workshops and going out in the field to meet with some of our farmers and look at the problems that they're facing on the ground. Every farm situation or property situation is unique to that farmer, so it helps set them up so they've got all the right tools in the unfortunate event that a fire does come through their property.
The purpose of us being over here is to really try and embed the understanding of fire as part of farm planning, so embedded as a layer, as whether it's the geography layer, the water layer, the access layer, the ecosystem layer, the soils layer, the fencing layer, the economy layer and the energy layer. And whenever we're looking at any of those things, that we're considering fire as part of that.
It helps people understand how they're going to respond to fire and how to minimise the impact of a fire on their farming enterprise. That could look a little bit like managing access to water, managing the roads in and out, or even understanding how fire impacts stock and the need to feed them in advance or after fire.
Most people, at least on agricultural landscapes, and especially in foothills landscapes, are up and elevated, so fire is the real dominant risk. And so thinking about then, well, my positioning of different assets, if I'm looking at the water layer, having a reticulation of water such that I can have gravity water in if I can, so that if all the power fails or the pump doesn't start or whatever the case, I've got this gravity supply with a pipeline that's deep and won't get hot or burned while it's underground and so on. For the rest of the time, that system is supplying water to your house, but it may also be supplying water to your stock as you get around and or for all the other purposes that we need water on a farm. So that's an example of interoperability. Fire is part of these landscapes. It's always been part of these landscapes. So I don't think that we should not do things, particularly when it comes to biodiversity, that we shouldn't do plantings and we shouldn't enhance plantings just for the sake of the fact that that will be a conduit potentially for fire. It's how we manage the rest of it. When it comes up to our, homesteads and farm environments, well, looking at how that is all set up. Do you have lots of flammable trees around? Have you taken care of your gutters? When I come down to the outcomes that we're now seeing, I've seen that people have embraced the mapping through the agency of programs like Google Earth, for example, or Google Earth Pro. We train people how to use that, and then that allows them to start mapping their paddocks and mapping their different zones, mapping their vegetation, and trying to then understand the various risks and opportunities that they have across their place.
What I've learned is that in developing all our projects, all of our land care projects, it's important to consider fire in everything that we do and to make sure we have those conversations with the landholders throughout when we come for site visits and designing those projects to make sure that we aren't putting those properties at risk from fire.
If you're considering farm planning with a fire layer, I don't think going it alone is ever a good idea. I think farm planning should always be a participatory arc. Seek out the expertise that's around you through your farming colleagues.
It's all about working together to get good outcomes on the ground. Our staff, they're very specialised in what they do already, but it's really allowing them to have another tool that they can use when they go out and talk to farmers, and hopefully from the farmers that are involved this week, they can share their learnings with their neighbours, or they can get in touch with us and we can assist them with that planning.
There's a number of ways that people can get in contact with the Peel Harvey Catchment Council. You can give us a call, write us an email, or visit our website, which has a lot of information on it. People can come and visit us in our Mandurah, Waroona or Boddington offices at any time to come and have a chat to us.